Y'all, take three. Take three of trying to make this video. I keep doing dumb things. Dumb things. This last time I did the whole video, somehow it turns on, and then when I go to start the video, I turn it off to do the whole video, and then when I go to turn it off, I realize, but let's just smile. Hi again, my name is Rebel, and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and I'm trying for the third time to share with you guys my what's sold for last weekend, which would be Friday through Sunday, July 14th through the 16th. Still was having decent sales. This week has been a little bit slower. That's okay. You know, I haven't been listing like I should have because I was sick, and that's just to be expected, but I'm going to be back into it this week, feeling a whole lot better. I do think it had to do, you know, we started with sinus infections. It started with me, then Robert, then my son Daniel, and then RJ. Some kind of bug, the whole head thing, and then I think I got a relapse a little bit. But I do think it's part of that fire. I think it's just really affecting people's health. But all right, this morning we decided we were going to go to the early church. Then we went to the gym. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago we decided to join the gym because, y'all, there's days that I stand down here from like 8 in the morning till like 4:30, and then I go upstairs and I sit at my other desk. But I don't hardly get any steps and no activity, no sun, no peopling. So I told Robert we're going to join the gym. That way, you know, you're more enticed to go do something when you have to pay for it, which we're paying to go to Planet Fitness. So we started last week before I got sick again, and then we went today after church, and then we went and ate lunch out. So, but it was nice to get out, start getting some exercise, you know, be around people, get out of my house, do things that are not work, because you can kind of get into that, I got to get this done, I got to get that done, I got to do this, you know, this is piling up on me, I need to cross list, I need to do all this stuff, and sometimes I have a hard time turning that off, and I'm trying to do better, All right, so that was my day, and now I'm making this video for the third time. In spite of me. Y'all, I've got a fly. So if you see him, I've been trying to get him, but he just keeps, you know, once they like my light that's right here, so he just keeps crossing over. It's so annoying. So annoying. All right, let's see what sold. 2 sales on Posh, nothing on Mercari, but y'all, like, I wasn't listing, I wasn't cross-listing, so I'm on day 3 of making sure I cross-list every day to Poshmark and Mercari. Etsy, I think I'm going to let go. Just not enough sales for the expenses that you have to pay to do all of that 20-cent renewals and everything. So I think I'm going to let it go. I've got 400 things sitting in expired. Maybe, no, I don't think so. I don't even think I'm going to turn it back on for 4th quarter. Anybody else having this dilemma? I don't know. All right, so on Poshmark, this is a deer, elk, moose, all my keywords, plush. There was no manufacturer on the tag, so it's really hard to sell stuff when you don't know who made it. It was one of my old listings, sold for $10 on Poshmark. And then I sold these Skechers black sandals for $17. I had one Etsy sale. This is a Carlton Cards Heartwarmers Gray Bear. It came from that private pick / estate sale where I bought all of the plush. A lot of it new with its tags. This sold for $19.95. All right, and then eBay. If you're new to my channel, I've been selling on eBay for 24 years. Everything gets started on eBay, and then I use List Perfectly to cross list to Poshmark and Mercari. I kind of have my beliefs on which ones go on Poshmark. Some things I put on both All of my clothes go on to Poshmark. A lot of my lower dollar toys go on Mercari. That's just kind of how I do it. This is a Russ Gonga monkey plush. It had some problems, but it actually sold very quickly for $8.96. Barrington Pink Charity Bear Plush. I like that brand. I think it's very good quality, but like Jellycat, it just doesn't get the love like some of the other brands. They're just very nicely made, but for the most part, they're long tail and they don't sell for a whole lot. This plush sold for $11. Hug Fun. I buy a lot of Hug Fun and Kelly Toy. I think a lot of those were sold at like Targets and Walmarts and just mass produced, but you know, a season and they're done. And then these older ones, like this was from 2018. It's a favorite of a child and they need a backup, and they tend to sell very quickly for me. This sold for $12.07. Little furry yellow duck. McDonald's Happy Meal vinyl bags. This was from that McDonald's yard sale that we went to. Can't remember how much I spent there, but I bought quite a bit. But I was very particular on what I purchased. These 2 bags, I want to say I paid $1 for the 2. They sold very quickly for $9. I did have somebody make a comment that they used to use these vinyl bags to store their strawberry shortcake dolls in, and it helped keep that smell for years and years and years, she said. So, you know, just another thing to think of ways that you could use something like this. Peekaboo, not a brand I pick up unless it's just got something that attracted me to it. This was a dog plush, which I like to pick up. Multicolored tie-dye, sold for $10 best offer. Y'all, I think right now, the reason why I'm selling as many items as I do is sending offers. It's so important. I probably do it 10, maybe 15 times a day. Anytime I end up on my seller hub, I look to see if I have any offers that I can send, because the sooner you can get that offer to a buyer, it might be, oh yeah, I think I need to buy that now, because, and I'm not sending huge discounts, you know, like on this, it was on sale for $12. I went ahead and sent a $10 offer and they were like, okay, I'll go ahead and buy it for $10. So definitely use that. If you have people watching your stuff, send those offers and send them frequently. Apologia right now is prime time for getting your homeschool curriculum listed. I picked this up at a church sale, I think recently, for probably $1. It is the General Science from 2008, sold for $15 very quickly. Another one, this was from the yard sale we stopped at when we were traveling from Connecticut to Rochester. This is Matthew C. Algebra 1, just the test booklet, sold for $8.96 very quickly. Kelly Toy Squishmallow. My love-hate with them. I pick them up if the price is very, very cheap, or I can get them in a large lot. But for the most part, y'all, they are bread and butter. There was a time when they sold for way more than they do, and there are exceptions. But definitely check your comps and don't go out and buy, you know, these large lots that sometimes I see people buying on some of the Facebook groups. And all I can think is it's going to be tough. You'll make your money back for the most part, but you're not going to make the profit that sometimes you're led to believe that you might. This Tiffany Calico Cat sold for $8. Avon Nutcracker Ornaments. I think this is the complete set. I bought like a Ziploc gallon bag for a couple of dollars. It had other ornaments also in it. I think most of these hadn't ever been removed from their box. But I did want to take them out and take pictures. Sold for $17.95. I love vintage Christmas. It is like my second favorite thing you know, once I go to an estate sale or at a yard sale, look for the plush and then look at the vintage Christmas. Kelly Toy Llama plush, 16-inch from 2018. This plush had fallen out of its basket. I'm doing my inventory right now, and I picked it up and looked to see which basket it belonged in, and sure enough, that evening it sold. You hear that happen all the time, but sometimes it happens. It sold for $16.12. Build-A-Bear chimpanzee plush. Most of them are bread and butter. I do have a video that I did probably last year sometime on some of the higher dollar ones to be looking for. But for the most part, the bears and some of the general animals don't sell for a whole lot. The outfits, on the other hand, do much better. But this sold for $8.96. Cut from the cloth women's jeans sold for $18. Disney Lilo and Stitch plush. This one's from Just Play. Some of the Lilo and Stitch plush sell for decent money, like Scrump. I think it was the little kind of ragdoll looking thing that Boo liked to carry around. That does really well, but for the most part, they don't sell like they used to. This one sold for $7. I think this is the last of the Geo Tracks that Robert picked up, I want to say 2 years ago at a church sale. I want to say he paid $40 for like a huge tote, lots of trains and tracks and some of the play sets. But y'all, I don't know what happened, but my first picture is gone. All it is all of the pictures of each piece, or, you know, a section. That's how I do it. I do the big picture, and then I just kind of do each section, and then I flip stuff upside down, and then I do a tape measure. But I don't know what happened. That first picture's gone. Finally sold, though. I think it's the last. $13.99. Vintage doll, 13-inch Hong Kong. Not quite sure where she came from. I'm learning that not all vintage dolls are worth picking up. You really need to know who the manufacturer is, because it's hard to sell something when, you know, all you have is basic information that it's a 13-inch doll from Hong Kong. You know, it takes that right buyer looking for it to find it. And they're just tedious and they're harder to store. So I need to do better. It did sell for a best offer of $10. Carter's Child of Mine Brown Monkey Rattle plush. I've picked up a couple of these recently. Sold for $13.73. Disney Store 5-inch. Again, it's one of those. In June, I lowered all the price permanently by 10%. Everything that's been listed before January. And this is another one of those examples of it was on sale for $8. I'm sure I sent a $7 offer out on it and the buyer purchased it. These have been listed for years. I remember picking them up at a little church yard sale, like a thrift store. There's a church, several churches in our area that have thrift stores. And I want to say I paid $1 or $2 for a stack of 12 of these little cocktail beverage plates. Come to find out, it was 2 separate sets. But yeah, they've been listed for years. I got a $20 offer for the 2 sets, so $40 total. So I was glad to see them finally gone. I don't buy as many dishes anymore. There was a time when I did, and I would list them individually or small sets, but they're harder to store and they do take longer. Now this is from the Highway 127 sale last year. We stopped, I think Robert bought a tote full of license plates. Most of them were Tennessee. I think there were a few Virginia in there. I want to say we paid either $10 or $20 for the whole tote. I listed maybe a dozen of them. I've got a couple left that haven't sold. I need to finish cleaning them. It's just another license plates, the brass. There's just several things that have just sat waiting for me to take the time to get them listed. This was a license plate from 1987, sold for $12.07. Make sure you check with your state to find out when license plates can be sold. In our state, I think I read it's 3 years, but we just had a major license plate change. This year was the first year. So I'm assuming anything before that now is going to be able to sell, but I still probably wouldn't sell anything that's less than 3 years old, just in case. Hot Wheels Monster Jam Crustacean Blue Lobster. I picked this up at a yard sale. It was in a baggie for 50 cents, but I got it because there was Blazing the Monster Machine vehicle in there, not realizing that this other vehicle was actually the treasure in the bag. This vehicle sold very quickly for $17.95. Definitely keep your eyes out for the Hot Wheels Monster Jam vehicles. This is one of those things that's also been listed forever. I think probably purchased it right when I quit my job 10 years ago to go back to eBay full time. I did a whole lot of Ben's trips to Asheville and was buying just tons of stuff to get my quantities up in my store. And this was one of them. So it's been listed forever. Finally sold, $7. Scholastic Hamster Hand Plush 5-inch plush from 2017. I love finding plush that's from some of these book manufacturers, Scholastics, or any of the others that you know that this character, even like Kohl's Cares, the plush goes with a particular book. A lot of preschool teachers and librarians like to buy these so that they have the plush to go with the book. This sold for $12.07. I was going to end this when I had seen them in a basket when I was pulling something, and I thought I need to go next door, and if I remember, which I had remembered, to end it, because I bought a huge gallon Ziploc bag full of these. There's actually 4 in the series. They're from McDonald's. They're Oliver and Company little rubber finger puppets, and I was going to end these and go ahead and start making lots out of all of them, and they sold $7. Tomy Trackmaster Motorized Trains. This one was from 1996. I pick up most of them. You need to be careful though, because a lot of times I'm probably like 60% that they work, 40% that they don't. And I don't normally sell these if they're not working. I guess somebody who really knew how to, open them up and try to fix it with them. But I just tend to not want to do it with these because you just run the risk of still getting a return on them when they realize that it's not working, even though you stated in your listing. This did work. I did have a video of it. Sold for $17.95. Fisher-Price Little People. I pick them up usually at the bins, make little small lots. I put Maggie here in a little farm truck. Sold for $7.21. Carter's Just 1 Year. Green Horse Plush. I think this was an international sale. Sold for $16.16. Pretty sure I picked this up at Tea and Picker's yard sales right before they moved away. Sad, sad, sad. This is a jack-o'-lantern ghost hanging ornament that made like lights and sounds. Again, I have a video showing it work. Sold for $17.95. Mattel Barbie Pink Cat. This little plush was interesting. It's from 1992. It has little wheels on it, I guess for them to, like Barbie to pull her pet along. Sold for $8, best offer. Now, this is one of those sales where you get the desperate mama sending you messages wondering how fast you can ship. Should you ship it first class, well, ground, or priority? She and I went back and forth in our messages. She was leaving on vacation. They had just lost this blanket. So we ended up deciding to ship this priority mail to the hotel that they were going to be staying at. And so far I haven't heard that it didn't arrive. So I'm hoping everything was fine, because, you know, those messages are heart-wrenching when they've got a child that's devastated because they lost their favorite blanket. Gerber baby doll. I find these once in a while, and I tend to pick them up, especially if I can get them for like $1 or less. This one's from 1994. I just think they're adorable. $12.32. Now this was from that church sale we showed probably in the last month. I bought a ton of stuff. There was a cube that was full of doll clothes, and I want to say I paid $5 for that cube of them, but this was in there. There was a couple of things, I think some Cabbage Patch, but I knew instantly what this was. This is the gown that goes to the PJ Sparkles doll. Sold it as a replacement very quickly, $13.45. Tie beanie balls, bonsai panda bear. I can't even tell you when. It's probably a bins thing. I don't think I would normally pick them up anymore. It did sell for $8.96. Another homeschool curriculum. BJU, which is Bob Jones University, and Abeka are some of the biggest ones. So if you see any of them at yard sales, definitely check the comps on them. Make sure that if you're looking at the workbooks, that they've not been written in. A lot of times they do get written in. This was just a teacher's one, sold for $12.07. If you find the readers that go to, especially Abeka, I do really well with them. American Eagle women's jeans sold for $15. Disney Just Play Donald and Daisy sold for $10. Disney The Knock horse from Frozen 2. I've never watched that. Sold for $16. It's a very large plush, but it can fold and fit into a priority box. Now this is one of those examples I intended to list it, and then as I found more pieces to it, you know, end it, add more stuff to it, relist it at a higher price, but it sold very quickly. It's Epic Calico Critters, the piano, and this rabbit figure, $8. Hollister women's shorts sold for $12.25. Y'all definitely be looking out for this one. This is Carter's Just One You rabbit plush with the hot pink ears and feet, sold for $32.32. Disney Little Mermaid doll 21-inch sold for $10. This is an example of buying vintage home appliances and parting them out. This is something I just listed probably within the last week or so. It is a West Bend food preparation system. These were just the mixer, whisks, and bread paddles to that set. I decided to put all three of them together. Sold very quickly for $26.95. Tom's Toys. Not a brand I normally would pick up, but Purple Rabbit, of course I had to get it. 14-inch, sold for $13.46. And then this. This is the big sale for the weekend. This is a Robert pickup. We don't normally spend this much on items. We bought this Steel Picks stimming machine. I think these are used by people to make floral arrangements. I think it puts the pick in flowers, de-stems them maybe. I'm not quite sure. Robert picked up 2 of these in a box for $60. The other one was an older version that is actually missing the weight. I think we can still sell it for about $50. I decided to sell this one, which is the newer one, with the 2 boxes of picks, which one box was partial. Sold very quickly for $120. So again, Robert It's something, we left the yard sale and he changed his mind and went back and purchased it. $60 though. All right. Technically, I've made 3 videos, so now my voice is already losing it, and I'm supposed to make some more today, but I don't think it's going to happen. We are going to make a ship with me video, probably, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. Probably it is like our 5th or 6th one we've done. So if you're a little hesitant about shipping and just scared to branch out into other niches, I try to go through every item that I'm listing, showing you what sold and telling you my mind, my reasoning for, do I ship it in a poly? Do I ship it in a bubble mailer? Do I put it in a small box? Do I ship it priority? Just all of the different thoughts that we have when we're deciding how we're going to ship something. So, you know, it's definitely something that people who haven't been selling a long time, I think they find them very useful. And then I do have others that you can go back and just get ideas on how I ship stuff. All right, y'all, get to work.